Well, that's the first touchdown of the night for Brush that did not involve Eric Garcia, although he had the biggest play of the drive at 36 yards. Boy, what a difference, Dave, having him back in the lineup the last two games.
You know, he's just a playmaker. He's the kind of guy that sees the whole field, and he has a good feel for where everybody on the defense is at and which direction they're running, and he can make people make mistakes.
Kickoff return coverage is not an issue here because Fector hits a line drive that bounces at the 5 and through the end zone. And you're right, he's had some great kicks tonight.
He sure has, and I'm not sure that he really took advantage of the wind that much on that one because it wasn't that high of a kick. You know, the thing didn't probably get more than about 10 yards off the ground.
So the Reds have the football at their own 20-yard line to begin this drive with the Beat Diggers dominating 33-7. In case you missed it, homecoming king and queen were Luke Nichols and Alicia Nichols. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Receiver split out to the left and right. In a shotgun formation is Tony Ball. Man in motion to the right, and Ball will take off the football, cutting it back towards the inside, and another positive gain for the Eaton quarterback to the 24-yard line before he's swallowed up by a couple of the Beat Diggers, including Connor Weiser. And also getting up is Derek Lynch. 2nd down and 6. We're under 3 minutes to go in the third, and the Beat Diggers in command for the second straight week.
Ball has 61 yards on 16 carries. If he wouldn't have had that 22-yard loss one play ago, you know, he's way up there close to 100 yards.
2nd down and 6 to go for the Reds at their own 24-yard line. This is the thinnest crowd I've seen ever. And because of these weather conditions, I don't blame them. Shotgun formation, and there's the handoff on the right side. That's Corral across the 25, hanging on for dear life and throwing him out of bounds. Along the far sideline for the Beat Diggers is Levi Brenham, and it's a gain of 3 to the 27. Nice read by Brenham, 3rd down and 3.
You know, the Eaton running backs have only accounted for a total of 13 carries. Most of the carrying's been Ball just with those quarterback keepers.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm agent Greg Mullen is there. Let Greg Mullen work with you to get the discounts you desire and the coverage you need. That's State Farm agent Greg Mullen. 3rd down and 3 from the 27. Eaton on their own side of the field. And the option left for Ball. The Beat Diggers are out there. Can they make the play? He'll pitch it last second, and there's going to be a mess there for Eaton. That'll be a loss of around 3 yards in the play as Shea Hansen and Bruce Melendez bring down Lincoln Corral. That'll set up a 4th down and around 5. Maybe a long 4 at around the 26. They actually gave him some forward momentum, but the Beat Diggers were there to read the play along the left sideline.
Well, they did a good job of making sure they were right there to tackle Ball, who was more interested in keeping the football on that option than pitching it. But he had to let that pitch go, and it ended up costing Eaton because they gave up so much ground to begin with out of that shotgun formation.
And, Dave, that Brush defense had something to prove. They did not play well end of the second quarter, and here early and midway through the third. It's the first time they've stopped Eaton in quite a while.
Yeah, you're right. They did a really good job of just settling down and playing solid defense that time.
There's some confusion on the Red side, so they call a timeout. Once again, we remind you, KSIR.com/sports. We'll have some video highlights of this game, and we'll have the festivities at halftime that took place on this homecoming night. It's amazing. For how many people do you think? I don't know how many people, but I'm going to say, Dave, if I had to guess, I'd say 65 to 70% of the crowd left this game once the homecoming festivities were done at halftime, because this place was pretty packed.
Yeah, it was, and I'm just looking down at the view that I have out the window right here, and I counted 29 people. But I know there's a few people over there to the left, and there's some of the Eaton players or the Eaton kids are down there closer to the field, over there where the visitors sit. But even over there in where our student section is, we don't have a whole bunch of people still here.
Ismael Mendoza standing at his own 12. A high snap. It goes off his hand, and the ball is loose at the 7-yard line. The Beat Diggers fall on it at the 7. And that is Brandon Rutherford. Another mistake by the Reds, and the Beat Diggers are in business once again with 1:07 to go in the third quarter.
You know, those snaps are just really, that is really what's killed Eaton tonight. I haven't counted them, but at least 3 or 4 snaps that have gone over or past Ball's head have really cost the Reds.
Yeah, the special teams has just been a nightmare for Eaton. So it's 1st and goal for the Bead Diggers at the 7-yard line. They're already leading 33-7 with 1:07 to go in the third. The backs are split. Morrow and Weiser hand off to Weiser and right up the gut, and he drives to around the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 2. 2nd down. We figure we'll get another video highlight if they score again the way they've been going here.
You know, by this time last week, Weiser already had probably 150 yards rushing. Tonight he's been held to 11 carries for 46 yards.
Hey, you can't always have the big games. 2nd down and goal for the 5 with the backs remaining split. And Garcia this time on the option left will keep it himself, cuts it toward the inside, and he scores as he backs his way into the end zone from 5 yards away. And the Bead Diggers now lead 39-7. Eric Garcia has scored his 3rd touchdown of the night. The Bead Diggers in complete command. That drive took 38 seconds. And now Cardenas to attempt the extra point. And Dave, as they say in a song, here comes the rain.
It is flat coming down now, and it's coming down sideways. And when I was kind of joking earlier in the game about the flag pointing up, it's pointing up. It's not pointing sideways.
Oh, boy, and the ball goes through Eric Garcia's hands on the PAT, which means it's only a 32-point lead. And it's because the running clock goes to 40. 29 seconds to go in the third. We'll keep it right here. The Bead Diggers lead 39-7. And you're going to have to think at some point the junior varsity players, the backup unit, will get in there. But you know what? These conditions are, I mean, I don't know, would you call them dangerous here for the players, Dave, or just risky?
Oh, it's hypothermic, that's for sure. But, you know, one positive thing for Brush, and just to show Eaton's bad luck, is think about that. The bad snap, Brush scores right away. So now not only do they get the touchdown, but with less than 30 seconds left on the clock before they change directions, Brush gets to kick the ball with the wind at their back.
Yeah, that's a nice luxury because Jacob Fector kicked it right through the end zone the last time. Bead Diggers led this game 26-0 at the break. And then it was 26-7, but now Brush has delivered 2 scores. Connor Weiser from a couple of yards away and Eric Garcia on the option from 5 yards out. And Fector to kick it off. And this is high and short. Fielded at the 19-yard line along the near sideline across the 25 to the 30. And still on his feet, knocked out of bounds at around the 33 for a return of 14 is Seth Selby. So the Reds will have at least 1, maybe 2 plays to run in the third on homecoming night in Brush. The Bead Diggers, now you look back at the last 2 games, they've outscored their last 2 opponents 77-20. That reminds you of the old Bead Digger days, and even as recently as last year. 1st and 10 for the Reds. They're going to backtrack the football at the 30-yard line. With 20 seconds to go in the third. Shotgun formation for Tony Ball. 2 receivers out to the left. A man on the inside slot. Awaiting the snap. Man in motion to the right. Ball's got the football. He'll run to his right. Cuts it back towards the middle. And he's to the 34-yard line. Dylan French brought him down. And that is the final play of the third quarter with the score. Brush 39, Eaton 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.